This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. I'm Kristen Welker in tonight for Lester. We begin with the troubling surge of COVID-19 cases. More than half of states now seeing increases. Governors in Texas and Florida making moves they had hoped to avoid, rolling back reopenings, restricting bars as cases among young people skyrocket. And under pressure to do more, the coronavirus task force held a briefing for the first time in 2 months, with Vice President Pence saying there's encouraging news despite the dire picture painted by the numbers. We have it all covered, starting with Sam Brock in Houston.
After reopening restaurants and bars just last month, tonight a full-scale about-face in Texas and Florida. The Sunshine State suspending alcohol consumption inside bars after setting a record for daily cases, nearly 9,000. And a bigger pullback in Texas, the governor closing down all bars and bringing restaurant capacity back to 50%. Officials from Houston to Austin raising the alarm.
We find ourselves careening toward a catastrophic and unsustainable situation.
This is crunch time for us. We need everybody to religiously wear their masks and to social distance.
For one restaurant and bar owner in the Lone Star State, closed this week because an employee contracted COVID, it was about time. What was your reaction to the governor's decision?
I think the decision was correct. I think right now we all have to get on the same page, because if we don't get on the same page, it's going to just get more and more and more.
Across town, another business making changes. The Kolache Factory has locations all over Houston. Recently, they brought back in-room dining, only to take them away and replace tables with social distancing cues well before the governor's mandate. The fears here, not only about health. What is your greatest concern at this point?
My greatest concern is that we'll have to start laying off people.
Houston now at 100% capacity for ICU beds, and doctors in East Texas reporting problems there too.
To tell them, I'm just having trouble finding somebody to accept your loved one. There's nothing I can say to make those feelings better.
Today, the White House Coronavirus Task Force announcing the overwhelming majority of new cases are among young people not taking precautions, who likely won't get seriously ill, but will spread the virus.
You will infect someone else who clearly will infect someone else. We know that happens. Ultimately, you will infect someone who's vulnerable.
21-year-old Adriana Carter recently contracted COVID just days after a night out at a bar without a mask. Now, her message.
Just because you are a healthy 20-something-year-old does not mean you cannot be a carrier, and give it off to others.
A sharp reminder that could be the difference in the urgent fight for containment. Sam Brock, NBC News, Houston.